This is the OTB Network.
Welcome everyone to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We have a lot of racing action to bring to you. And for a little bit of a change this week, we're going to start things on the West Coast at Hollywood Park, where on Saturday the stakes feature of the day was the Mervyn Leroy, a Grade 2 $150,000 event for 3-year-olds and up, going 1 mile and a 16th. Let's head out to Hollywood Park for the call of the Mervyn Leroy.
They're off. Moonlight Charger and Divine Wind from their inside post go right out for the front. Futural away in third. Skimming will be caught out 4 wide at the clubhouse turn. Euchre drops in behind the leaders. He'll save ground early as they go around the clubhouse turn. Skimming intent on challenging Futural and Moonlight Charger for the lead. And Skimming goes all the way up 3 wide to put ahead in front. Moonlight Charger is at the rail as Futural is taken back off the front runners, and he's third, now 2 from the front. Divine Wind is to the middle of the track. He's fourth, only 2.5 lengths off the lead, and Euchre will do his running from the back of the pack. He gives the front running stablemate Skimming a 5-length head start, 5 furlongs to run in the 22nd running of the Mervyn Leroy, and Skimming is rolling along now. Garrett Gomez has a nice long rein on him, and he leads by 1.5 lengths. Moonlight Charger and Futural track the front runner. Euchre is out of last place. He's going to have to split horses. Here's Euchre to draw within 2 of the lead. Divine Wind will lose ground leaving the backstretch. 2.5 lengths from first to last. There's 3 furlongs to run. Futural makes his move outside of Skimming. Skimming still ahead in front. Futural turns up the heat as they come to the quarter pole, and these two get away and set the stage for a good stretch battle in the Mervyn Leroy. Divine Wind a hard-ridden third, then Moonlight Charger. Euchre is back to 5th, and they head for home, and Futural is ahead in front. Skimming battles back from the inside, and these two trading punches to the final furlong. Futural to the outside. Skimming all out at the rail, and Futural is a full neck in front now. Skimming will really have to battle back. Futural just a neck. Skimming at the rail, but he can't get the winner of the Mervyn Leroy, and that winner is Futural.
Futural picking up another very impressive win, second choice in the wagering at 17-10 over Skimming, who really sent himself into the top ranks last year during the summertime out in the West Coast with a very impressive pair of races in Southern California last summer. Did come up with a little bit of problems when shipped east, but returns to the races with a nice effort here, finishing only in the 2nd spot, a length behind Futural. Moonlight Charger, a long shot in the field, rallying into the 3rd spot here. Rider Chris McCarron continues to do extremely well, having another big stakes win in Southern California. Futural is a 5-year-old chestnut horse, the son of Future Storm by out of Twigazuri by Dixieland Band. Was bred in Florida by Harry Mangurian, owned by the Miller Trust and Whites, trained by Craig Delasse. McCarron in the irons for the Mervyn Leroy as Futural completes the mile and a 16th in 1:42 flat. Sunday stakes feature at Hollywood Park was the Hawthorne Handicap, a Grade 2 $150,000 mile and a 16th event, this time for fillies and mares. Let's head back out to the West Coast for the call of the Hawthorne Handicap.
They're off. Cook and Vicky is hard sent by Tyler Bays, but Printemps and Feverish are quicker early, and Feverish moves through to take over the lead. Cook and Vicky now sent up into 2nd as Printemps settles in 3rd, and the early trailer is Brienda, and Feverish finds herself on the front as they turn into the back stretch. She will not make an easy lead, though, because Cook and Vicky is sent up outside of her, so Feverish leads only by a neck. Cook and Vicky gonna pester her throughout as they turn into the back stretch 6 furlongs from home. Printemps races in 4th. In 3rd, she's 4.5 lengths off the lead, and Brienda is 4th and last as they head up the back stretch. Feverish and Cook and Vicky continue to match strides. They're 5 furlongs from home in the 28th Hawthorne Handicap, and Feverish is still in front by a neck. Cook and Vicky continues to be pushed along by Tyler Bays. Printemps is now 6 from the lead, and she'll have to go after the front runners now. Brienda is 4th and last. She has 8 lengths to make up as they go into the far turn. It is still Feverish and Cook and Vicky 1-2. Feverish unmeasured half length in front. Cook and Vicky has asked for all she's got now, but Feverish is getting away. Now the two stretch runners begin to move in. Printemps has drawn within 2.5 lengths of the lead, and she is traveling comfortably for Chris McCarron. Here comes Printemps with a 3-wide rush, and she is up to challenge for the lead. Brianda puts herself in the thick of the battle as well, and it's wide open as they head for home. Here comes Printemps outside of Feverish. Feverish took all of the heat early, and now she's going to have to battle back late, but it's Printemps to the final furlong, and she leads by 1.5 lengths. Feverish cannot go with her. Brianda is next, and Printemps is clear in the Hawthorne handicap, and Printemps has done it. Chris McCarron and Printemps win the Hawthorne by 1 length.
Printemps, once again, Chris McCarron picking up another win, this time on a filly. A short field of 4 go postward. Printemps picking up the win by 1.25 lengths over Feverish, the heavy favorite in here. It was a long way back to Brianda. Fourth and last finisher was Cookin' Vicky in here. Cookin' Vicky has challenged some of the good ones when she throws in her best race. She can contend with these type of mares. The winner of Printemps is a Chilean-bred 4-year-old filly bred on Southern Hemisphere time. So she was born in the month of September. A daughter of Husanet from Wrist by World Watch, was bred in Chile by Aras de Pirique, owned by Ammerman Racing, trained by Ron McAnally, ridden to victory by Chris McCarron. Printemps completes the mile and the 16th at Hollywood Park in 1:43 and 1. Next, we're going to be heading to Aqueduct, where they had a pair of stakes races on both Saturday and Sunday's card, finishing up the Aqueduct meeting for the season. Starting out the weekend was the Fort Marcy Handicap, a grade $300,000 event for 3-year-olds and up on the turf course, 1 mile and a 16th the distance. Let's head down to New York for the call of the Fort Marcy Handicap.
And they're off. Slow Hand broke well, but it's Strategic Mission who goes on up now to grab the early lead. Strategic Mission, the leader. The Gate Man is on the outside in second. Then Slow Hand racing in third, and Pine Dance is fourth. Legal Jousting in fifth. Then Buddha's Delight and Company Approval. Rumson on the River races eighth. Country Bee Gold is the early trailer in ninth as the field moves for the clubhouse turn. Strategic Mission in front by a length. Gate Man on the outside in second. Legal Jousting has moved up on the inside and is now in third in the first quarter. 24 seconds over the firm turf. They're on the backstretch now with Strategic Mission leading here by a neck. Gate Man on the outside in second. 1.5 lengths to Legal Jousting in third. Slow Hand is fourth. Gap of 2 to Pine Dance in fifth. Then Buddha's Delight and Company Approval, followed by Country Bee Gold. Rumson on the River now trails in ninth. The half was running 48 and 4. It's the favorite Strategic Mission showing the way here by 3/4 length. Gate Man on the outside in second. Legal Jousting is still in third, and Slow Hand is still fourth as they make their way around the far turn. And now Strategic Mission opens up here. Strategic Mission by 3 lengths. Legal Jousting coming through on the inside to be second. Then it's Gate Man, Slow Hand, and Pine Dance. They're in the stretch. Strategic Mission with the lead. The lead is 3.5 lengths. Then it's Legal Jousting. Towards the inside is Pine Dance. Strategic Mission still in front, 2.5 lengths. Pine Dance with one last run towards the inside, but it's Strategic Mission holding on to the lead, and it's a front-running victory in the Fort Marcy for Strategic Mission.
Strategic Mission gets the win here as the odds-on choice in the wagering. He really came to life this summer down in South Florida for Bill Mott, putting forth a terrific front-running effort under Richie Migliori. Pine Dance back in the United States after a trip to Dubai, back on the turf where he had made his American debut, a successful one last summer, returning to perhaps his better surface here, picking up a nice second-place finish from off the pace under Javier Castellano. Legal Jousting was involved early. He did race fairly close up early, holds on for the third spot here with Slow Hand, who usually finishes third no matter what class he runs in, finishing in the fourth spot. The winner, Strategic Mission, is a dark bay or brown 6-year-old by Mr. Prospector out of Sultry Sun by Buckfinder, bred in Kentucky by Live Oak Stud. He is owned by the Moiglair Stud Farm, trained by Bill Mott, ridden to victory by Richie Migliori. Strategic Mission completes the mile and the 16th on the firm turf course at Aqueduct in 1:41 and 3. Continuing with stakes racing action on Saturday at the Big A, we had the Withers Stakes 1 mile grade 3 event, $150,000 for 3-year-olds going the flat mile. Let's head back down to Aqueduct for the call of the Withers.
And they're off. Richly Blended broke sharply. He's out for the early lead with a Skip to the Stone. Tour of the Cat is third. On the outside is Sam Lord's Castle moving up from fourth. And then Regal Shivers, Le Grand Dansour at the rail. Telescam will be the early trailer in seventh. They cross over and move on to the main track now. And it is Richly Blended and Skip to the Stone. And those two are going at it here in the early part. Skip to the Stone on the inside and Richly Blended on the outside. And they are right together after an opening quarter in 23 seconds. They've opened up almost 3 lengths now on Sam Lord's Castle in third. Then a gap of 4 to Tour of the Cat, Le Grand Dansour, and Regal Shivers. Telescam still trails in seventh. The half in 45 seconds. On the outside, Richly Blended now puts his head in front. Skip to the Stone, racing second. Sam Lord's Castle ready to go now, and he's moving up from third. It's Richly Blended in front by 2 lengths. Sam Lord's Castle now in second. Skip to the Stone is back running in third. Then it's Regal Shivers and Le Grand Dansour, and they're in the stretch, 3/4 in 109 and 3. Richly Blended maintaining the lead here, and now opening up. It's Richly Blended by 4 lengths. Sam Lord's Castle is second, then Le Grand Dansour and Telescam, a 16th to the finish. Richly Blended by 6 lengths. Richly Blended, he won the Gotham and he's won the Withers. Le Grand Dansour got second, Telescam was third.
Richly Blended returns to his best form with a very impressive effort here. He duels early with Skip to the Stone, who is a recent winner of the Bayshore upon shipping into the East Coast from California. And this time here it is Richly Blended gets the better of him. He ended up going on and drawing off to a big lead, 4 1/4 lengths under the finish line here in a very impressive effort under regular rider Rick Wilson. Last time out, of course, he held on very gamely to run third, going the 2 turns for the first time in the Wood Memorial, which is certainly beginning to look like a key race coming out of this weekend. Le Grand Dansour rallying from off the pace. He has had some problems with his starting. He has gotten out of the gate in a tangle on a couple of occasions. This time he ducked out at the start, did have to steady a little bit, had an inside trip, but finished well on the rail. New York bred Le Grand Dansour completing the exacta. Telescam rallying into the 3rd spot after being outrun early, completing the top 3. The winner, Richly Blended, is a 3-year-old bay colt by Rizzi out of Valid Blend by Valid Appeal, bred in Florida by the Mockingbird Farm. He is owned by Raymond Dweck, trained by Ben Perkins Jr., ridden to victory by his regular rider Rick Wilson. Richly Blended completes the 1 mile of the Withers Stakes at Aqueduct in 1:35 and 3. Pair of stakes races to finish up the meet on Sunday at the Big A, starting with the Bogey handicap. Grade 3, $100,000 rather, 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares, going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. Let's head down to New York for the call of the Bogey handicap.
And they're off. Tippity Witch brushes at the start with AOL Hayes. It was a good beginning for Gaviola from the outside and True Bred Pudding from the rail. And True Bred Pudding to be the early leader. Gaviola, the big favorite, now settles off for running along in hand in 2nd position. And AOL Hayes to the inside is 3rd. Then it's 2 lengths back to Efficient Frontier, Tippity Witch, and on the outside Shopping for Love. And it's True Bred Pudding who's coasting along in the early going here as a very manageable and easy lead, followed by Gaviola running along in 2nd with Efficient Frontier riding the rails in 3rd through an opening quarter that goes in 23 3/5 seconds. Into the backstretch run now. True Bred Pudding coasting on an uncontested lead. Gaviola stalking well in hand beneath a Jerry Bailey. AOL Hayes edging up on the outside into 3rd, then Efficient Frontier down inside 4th. Tippity Witch and Shopping for Love remain at the back of the pack as True Bred Pudding takes the field past the half-mile pole, run a half in 47 3/5 seconds. Gaviola looms just off her flank now as they move into the far turn. True Bred Pudding and Gaviola right alongside now. AOL Hayes is running in 3rd. On the inside, Efficient Frontier. Efficient Frontier now moves into 3rd position as they come to the top of the stretch. True Bred Pudding is still resisting Gaviola. True Bred Pudding turns for home in front by 3/4 of a length. Gaviola in a full-out drive, 2nd with 1 furlong to go. True Bred Pudding, a stubborn foe here for Gaviola. Gaviola now edges to the lead. True Bred Pudding fights on second, followed by Efficient Frontier. They're coming down to the finish. It's Gaviola and Jerry Bailey. Jerry Bailey winning his 5,000th career race.
Gaviola returning to her best form and doing so at the right time as Jerry Bailey earns his 5,000th career win here in the Bogey handicap for fillies and mares. Gaviola stalking the early lead here, showing her usual good speed, advancing on the outside, passing New York bred, True Bred Pudding. The New York bred's running very well in graded stakes company this weekend. She's settling for the second spot. Efficient Frontier coming off of a huge effort in a very good allowance race, sneaking through on the rail under Edgar Prado, this time running very nicely late, once again rallying on the inside under Edgar Prado, finishing in the third spot. The winner, Gaviola, is a 4-year-old gray or roan daughter of Cozine out of Forest Key by Green Forest. She was bred in Kentucky by Carlos Perez, owned by Robert Cummings, and trained by Billy Turner Jr. She is ridden to victory for the 5,000th career victory for Jerry Bailey. Mile and the 16th time on the firm turf course was 1:41 and 3. Final stakes race of the Aqueduct meeting with a Grade 1 Carter handicap, $300,000 on offer. 3-year-olds and up sprinting 7 furlongs. Let's head back down to Aqueduct one more time for the season and take a look at the Carter handicap.
And they're off. Hook and ladder, there goes Max's Pal. Max's Pal up for a short lead. Hook and ladder right there with him. Safe Florida Sandy third toward the inside. And then in between horses, it's Bear Outline. Stalwart member right there in between horses as well. Peeping Tom, not far from the early pace, is on the far outside, about 3 lengths from the lead. It's a long way back to Conflict. Very slow to get underway here. The field moving up the backstretch. Hook and ladder is the leader. Max's Pal second through a quarter in 23 seconds flat. The pace fairly moderate here for these Grade 1 horses. The leader is Hook and Ladder. The leader is into the far turn, holding on to the lead by a neck. Max's Pal on the outside. Safe Florida Sandy is bottled up in traffic, hard held, and jockey Joe Bravo really had to step on the brakes there. Peeping Tom is coming up 3 wide with a clear shot at the leaders as they make the turn toward the top of the stretch. Stalwart member is now running in 5th. Then Bear Outline. Still far behind is Conflict. The half in 46 seconds flat. Max's Pal. Max's Pal on the outside. Hook and Ladder digs down. Those two driving toward the 8th pole together. Peeping Tom is bearing down on them. Safe Florida Sandy switched to the outside for the last furlong's run into the final 16th. Peeping Tom in front. Safe Florida Sandy is coming hard as they come down to the finish, but it is Peeping Tom. Peeping Tom to win it.
Peeping Tom, very impressive in victory. Safe Florida Sandy, extremely impressive in defeat. Safe Florida Sandy with Joe Bravo aboard was really ready for his A race, but he was kept down inside. He does his best running outside of horses, and this was probably his big moment to shine and get that Grade 1 credential that has been eluding him. Unfortunately, did not get the ideal part of the racetrack to run on, breaking from post position 1. Peeping Tom sitting outside the speed every step of the way, digging in very gamely for a 1.5 length win. Once he came clear, Safe Florida Sandy really hit high gear, but was just no match for the winner. Hook and Ladder, who was involved dueling early with Max's Pal, holds on very well for the 3rd spot, just getting his nose down in front of that rival who had to settle for the 4th spot in here. Big disappointment was Conflict, who came over here from Dubai, joining the Godolphin operation in New York, and was a little bit of a letdown for his fans when he never really got into the running at all. The winner, Bay Gelding, the 4-year-old Bay Gelding by Eagle Eyed out of Artful Pleasure by Nasty and Bold, was foaled in Kentucky, a product of Finney and Taylor's breeding program, a trainee of Patrick Reynolds, owned by the Flatbird Stable. Peeping Tom, ridden to victory by his regular rider Sean Bridgmahan, completes the 7 furlongs of the Carter handicap on a fast Aqueduct main track in 1:21 and 1. We are going to pause for a brief break, and when we return, we will be starting out with a look at some of the activities at Churchill Downs leading up to last Saturday's Kentucky Derby. Please stay with us.
This year, many thoroughbreds, no longer able to compete, will join the ranks of racing's homeless. The Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation and its supporters have been providing help and hope, creating opportunities where once there were none. The TRF, together with the racing industry, is meeting the challenge, taking care of their own. With your help, we can continue our saving mission, ensuring many more horses the welcome home they so richly deserve.
Welcome back, everyone, to Horses and Courses. We are next going to head down to Churchill Downs, where they had a terrific week of stakes racing on the card last week, leading up to the Kentucky Derby. Getting things kicked off on Thursday, we had the Mamselle Stakes, $100,000 for 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares sprinting 5 furlongs on the turf. Let's head down to Churchill Downs now for the call of the Mamselle Stakes.
All in line. Off and running in the Mamselle. LV Gamble breaking on top, quickly joined by Separata on the outside. 5 to legs, broke well, came away third. Then Gather the Day up the inside, fourth by 2. And they're followed up behind that Petty Marie, second last. And Arctic Quest at the back of the pack, quickly into the turn. It's Separata and Alex Solis opening up by a length and after the gray. LV Gamble second. 5 Delights is third by 2.5. Then Gather the Day, Petty Marie. And 3 back to Arctic Quest, the quarter, 22 seconds flat, running for the top of the lane. It's Separata, lonely lead in front by 2. LV Gamble still second by 2 more. 5 Delights is next by 3. And then it's Gather the Day up the inside, and Penny Marie comes on late. Down to the final furlong they go. Separata is clear by 3 and widening past the 8th pole. Separata, LV Gamble not going with her second. Penny Marie up the inside third. It's all Separata. Separata gate to wire to win the Mamselle by 5. LV Gamble second. Penny Marie finished third. Time 55-4.
Separata, very, very fast mare in from the West Coast and picking up a nice win here on the East Coast. 6 lengths as the even money favorite over LV Gamble, who has been quite competitive in these 5 furlong races in Kentucky, New Jersey. We don't see them here in New York, but she has been quite a monster sprinting on the turf in the last year or two. Penny Marie has to settle for the 3rd spot in here. The winner, Separata, is a 5-year-old chestnut mare. She was bred in Chile by the R.S. Trafalgar, a daughter of Sam M. from Data by Domino. She is owned by the Diamond A Racing Corporation, and Gerald T. Ford, trained by Richard Mandela, ridden to victory by her regular California rider, Alex Solis. Separata completes the 5 furlongs on the turf course in 55-4. Stakes racing action continued on Thursday with the La Troienne Stakes, a 7-furlong Grade 3 event for 3-year-old fillies going the 7 furlongs for $100,000. Let's continue with Churchill Downs racing action with the La Troienne Stakes.
Off and running in the La Troienne. Quick start for Sweet Nanette out to take the lead from City Fair. Flashing Good Speed, Devilish Erica up to join the early leaders. Irish Fantasy a half a length off the pace. A close up 4th early. Little Pumpkin Do racing 5th with 4 to make up early, followed by Growth Stock. Then Shirley Temper on the inside. 3 farther back to Golly Greeley in a break of 4. Back to Caressing, 10 lengths off the pace early the opening quarter in a solid 22 1/5 seconds. Devilish Erica leading it by a head to Sweet Nanette up the fence in second. City Fair right there, 3 deep third. Irish Fantasy racing 4th. Little Pumpkin Do drawing closer now, 3 wide in 5th, and it's Shirley Temper. Growth Stock 2 back to Golly Greeley, and still a break of almost 5 back to Caressing. Around the turn they go. Devilish Erica just ahead in front of City Fair. Off her flank in second. Irish Fantasy revving up now into contention third. Sweet Nanette is racing in 4th place now. Little Pumpkin Do set down for the drive on the far outside. Then Golly Greeley, and Caressing comes on from the back of the pack with Growth Stock. Wide open with 3/16 left to go. Devilish Erica's got the lead, a half a length in front of Sweet Nanette. Far outside, Golly Greeley Caressing from the back of the pack, and she's storming home. But Sweet Nanette gets the jump on her. Caressing's coming fast on the outside. Caressing hitting the front from Sweet Nanette, and Caressing comes back in grand style. She'll win the La Troienne by nearly a length.
Caressing picking up the win here in her first start back off of victory last year in the Breeders' Cup juvenile fillies. She did have some setbacks, keeping her out of Philly Classic contention, but she certainly did return to the races under Pat Day in very impressive fashion here, going the 7 furlongs in victorious style by a length over Sweet Nanette, who had only suffered 1 defeat in her career. Golly Greeley in the 3rd spot here. A couple of fillies getting off to a poor start. One of them, City Fair, did have a bit of a stumbling beginning, taking her right out of the picture early on. The winner, Caressing, is a 3-year-old dark bay or brown daughter of Honor and Glory from Love and Touch by Majestic Prince. She was bred in Kentucky by Preston Jones. She's owned by Carl Pollard and trained by David Vance, ridden to victory by Kentucky favorite Pat Day. La Troienne Stakes winner Caressing completes the 7 furlongs in 1:22 and 4. More stakes racing to bring you from Churchill Downs on Friday, starting things out with the Aegon Turf Sprint, a Grade 3 $100,000 event. 3-year-olds and up going the 5 furlongs on the turf. Let's head back down to Kentucky for the call of the Aegon Turf Sprint.
They're off and running in the Aegon Turf Sprint. Rocket start for Morlock. Straight out to take the lead from Honorable Pick racing second. Jack's Olympio flashing good speed racing third. Final row up the inside fourth. Texas Glitter gaining 3 deep from fifth. Testify 6 off the pace on the far outside. Behind that comes Distinctive Mr. B. Then Airborne Command and Kingslayer is at the back of the pack around the turn. Morlock getting plenty of pressure from Honorable Pick and that back in second now. Jack's Olympio racing third. Texas Glitter drawing closer with every stride from fourth by 3 more as they wind their way to the top of the lane. Morlock, he cuts the corner, leads it by a length and a half now to Texas Glitter, trying to mow him down from the outside second. Honorable Pick is driving in third down to the final furlong. It's Morlock in front by a length and a half to Texas Glitter. Morlock, Texas Glitter starting to get to him slowly. Morlock still there. Texas Glitter surging on the outside, can't get to him. Morlock goes on to win. Morlock winning it by a length and a quarter.
Morlock, who absolutely loves these turf sprints. They did send him overseas, stretched him out a little bit in a couple of big races in Asia, and he is back on his favorite racing surface and returns to his best form with a length win over Testify, who was able to nose Texas Glitter after that rival had a very poor start. He stumbled badly coming out of the gate, was quite fortunate to be able to get up into the running at all. Morlock, the winner under Robbie Alvarado, a 5-year-old bay horse by Housebuster out of Flashing Eyes by Time to Explode. Bred to sprint, but certainly not necessarily bred to do so on the turf, but he certainly loves it. He was bred in Kentucky by G. Watts Humphrey and Joe Pierce Jr., owned by Michael P. Clunan and trained by Randy Morris. Robbie Alvarado rides as Morlock completes the 5 furlongs in 56 and 3. Stakes racing continued on Friday at Churchill with the Louisville Breeders Cup handicap, $250,000, 3-year-olds and up fillies and mares going 1 1/16. Let's head back down to Kentucky for the Louisville Breeders' Cup handicap.
Into the outside gate, they're off and running. Good start, Asher, straight out to take the lead early. Secret Status broke well up the inside second, and right there, Saudi Poetry moving up into contention early third. March Magic racing along in fourth. Royal Fair in tight quarters. Bordelaise in and among horses now with Sparkles of Luck fanned out 3 wide and 2 farther back to Dreams Galore, who trails. 6 lengths front to back around the first turn. Asher nice and easy up front, in front by a length and a half now. Saudi Poetry putting some pressure on in second, and Sparkles of Luck makes an early run up within that second spot. Now to the inside comes Secret Status, then it's March Magic. 2.5 back to Bordelaise, who's followed by Dreams Galore moving 3 wide, and Royal Fair at the back of the pack is 8 lengths off the pace through the opening quarter in a very moderate 24 1/5 seconds, and midway up the backstretch they go. Asher loose on the lead, in front by a length and a half. Sparkles of Luck racing second. Saudi Poetry's in third. There goes Dreams Galore. She's edging her way up into the race to the far outside, followed by March Magic between fillies. Secret Status biding her time under Pat Day on the inside. They're followed by Bordelaise and Royal Fair at the back of the pack. 8 off the pace around the turn. Saudi Poetry making her move, and she pokes a nose in front. Long shot. Asher tries to counter from second by 2. Dreams Galore third. March Magic shaken up in fourth now. They're followed by Bordelaise. Whip comes out on her up the inside. Secret Status has 4 to make up as they straighten away in the stretch. Saudi Poetry and victory Victor Espinosa taking over, drawing away by a length to a stubborn Asher. Here comes Pat Day and Secret Status up the inside, and Royal Fair starts to storm home from the back of the pack. Final 16th. Saudi Poetry's got the lead, a length and a half. Royal Fair on the outside, surging late. Saudi Poetry, here comes Royal Fair, lunging Saudi Poetry.
Saudi Poetry also in from the West Coast. This one comes in from Southern California with Bob Baffert's team and picks up a win here. Allowed to go off at generous odds here with a 4-wide move to victory by a head over a game Royal Fair. Dreams galore back to the races off of a long layoff. Couple of starts back showing a little bit of improvement and finishing in the third spot. A big disappointment here at odds on with Secret Status, who many people have been waiting for to re-enter Stakes Company, last year's Oaks winner. Very disappointing, finishing 5th. The winner, Saudi Poetry, is a 4-year-old chestnut filly, a daughter of Stormcat, out of Gone to Venus. She was bred in Kentucky by Ed and Patricia Pavlish, owned by the Thoroughbred Corporation, trained by Bob Baffert, ridden by Victor Espinosa. Saudi Poetry completes the mile in the 16th at Churchill Downs in 1:42 and 2. Next, we're heading onto the turf for the Crown Royal American Turf, a Grade 3 event for 3-year-olds on the grass. $100,000 the purse, a mile and a 16th is the distance. Let's head back to Churchill for the call of the Crown Royal American Turf.
In the gate, off and running in the Crown Royal American Turf. Good even start. X-Country out to take the lead early from Dynamo. On the outside, racing second. Baptized gets a good spot along the inside with Turnberry Isle. Up the hedge, Grifter moves up on the far outside, and Strategic Partner, the early trailer. Passing the stands, a lap left to go now. Dynamo and Frank Lovato Jr. under a nice hold in front by half a length. Grifter off his flank, races along in second place now. X-Country skims the hedge, racing along in third. Then the favorite Baptized, just 2 off the pace and moving smoothly. A length and a half farther back to Strategic Partner and Turnberry Isle. At the back of a bunch field is 6 lengths off the pace as they wheel onto the backstretch. A very slow opening fraction, 24 and 4 for the first quarter mile, and it's Dynamo in charge by half a length now to Grifter off his flank right there in second. Baptized biding his time under Jerry Bailey, racing along in third place now, and up the inside X-Country moving in fourth with Strategic Partner to his outside, and 2.5 farther back to Turnberry Isle, who's got 6 to make up through the half, and 48 and 4. They picked up the tempo a bit around the far turn. It's Dynamo still there. Dynamo half a length in front of Grifter. Now Jerry Bailey says go with Baptized, and he's ranging up fast 3 wide. 2.5 back. Strategic Partner gets set down for the drive as they run to the quarter pole. Dynamo trying to take him all the way past the quarter pole by a half. Baptized up to his throat latch now. Grifter on the inside, races in third, and Strategic Partner down to the final furlong. Baptized accelerates on by to take the lead from Dynamo, and here comes Strategic Partner on the far outside. It's Baptized clear from Strategic Partner, who's starting to gobble up the ground. Baptized, here comes Strategic Partner. Baptized and Strategic Partner. Wow, too close to call.
The last jump was the jump that counted as Strategic Partner just gets up and nips Baptized. Baptized did appear to have it won. The Dark Bay colt with Jerry Bailey aboard seemed to be home free, but Strategic Partner very game with John Velasquez persevering, able to catch him in the final jump. The margin of victory a nose. Baptized, the heavy favorite at odds on here, was 4.5 lengths the better of Dynamo, who ended up in the third spot. But it did appear that it was simply a 2-horse race through the stretch. A Strategic Partner and Baptized have run against one another a number of times. If I'm not mistaken, they debuted against one another in New York last summer. The winner, Strategic Partner, is a 3-year-old chestnut son of Chris S. at a very special light by Majestic Light. Bred in Kentucky by the Prestonwood Farm, he is owned by Lee Lewis, trained by Mark Hennig, and ridden to victory by his regular rider, John Velasquez. Strategic Partner completes the mile and a 16th on the firm turf course in 1:42 and 4. The highlighted race on the Friday card at Churchill Downs, the Grade 1 Kentucky Oaks. Churchill has done a terrific job of really making Oaks Day a big day of racing. They had a crowd of over 100,000 people there to see this $500,000 mile and an eighth event for 3-year-old fillies. Let's head back down to Churchill now for the call of the Kentucky Oaks.
Off and running in the 127th Kentucky Oaks. It's Collect Call straight out to take the lead. Mystic Lady flashing good early speed. Nasty Storms on the outside, and Tap Dance is up to join the early leaders with Dance to the Dawn up the inside. It's a big scramble on for the early lead. Collect Call has got ahead in front of Mystic Lady, and Nasty Storm is right there to join the top pair 3 wide. Then Long Shot, Tap Dance racing along in 4th place. Latour has moved up 3 wide into 5th. Dance to the Dawn settles down racing in 6th place now, and they're followed by Fleet Renee. She's 5 lengths off the pace. Then it's Quick Tip as Flute is moving fast through an opening on the inside up into some traffic now. They're followed by Platinum Tiara, then Real Cozy and Morning Sun, and way at the back of the pack is Long Shot Messiah Joe. Opening quarter, 22 and 4/5 seconds. Up the backstretch they continue. Nasty Storm and Pat Day 3 parts of a length in front. And Mystic Lady on the inside, dogging her from the fence in second. Long Shot Tap Dance is right there third. Dance to the Dawn up the inside is racing in 4th. Then it's Long Shot Collect Call with 3 to make up. Latour gets set down for the drive early. And up the inside, Flute and Jerry Bailey picking his way through traffic. And Fleet Renee starts to get the jump on here. They're moving as a team now. And there goes Quick Tip, and she starts to rev up into contention on the outside. They come to the quarter pole, 3 across the track. Tap Dance 3 wide, pokes ahead in front. Mystic Lady set down for the drive. Nasty Storm not going with the top pair. Right there, Latour, the far outside comes Flute. She's starting to storm home now, and Flute starts to accelerate on by the field. Flute opening up quickly now by 3. A late charge from Real Cozy on the far outside, then Latour, but Flute is well clear, and Flute and Jerry Bailey going on to win the 127th Kentucky Oaks. Flute handwritten out to win it by 2.5. Real Cozy was second, and finishing third was Long Shot Collect Call.
Flute, a very impressive win here by Flute as she draws off by 2 3/4 lengths from a game Real Cozy, with Collect Call getting up for the 3rd spot here. Top of the stretch looked like it could be anybody's race. Favored Fleet Renee was stuck behind horses, not able to get on track, had to settle for the 4th spot here. Flute, very impressive, making only her 3rd career start. She moved up from maiden company to take a very, very bold shot at Golden Ballet, who at that point was the queen of Southern California. She challenged that rival on the turn in the Santa Anita Oaks before coming up just a little bit short. Went back to the drawing board for Bobby Frankel, who was able to get her in here. Fortunately, there was a question as to whether or not she would even be able to run in the Kentucky Oaks because the race is limited to 14 starters based on career earnings, and Flute, who had limited career starts, did not have a whole lot of earnings to her credit. She certainly does now. Victorious in a $500,000 race, $500,000, with about 60% of that going to the winner. Flute, a 3-year-old daughter of Seattle Slough out of Rouget by Blushing Groom, was bred in Kentucky by her owner, the Juddmont Farm. Trained by Bobby Frankel, ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey, the 1 1/8 distance on a fast track, 1:48 and 4. We are going to pause for one more brief break, and when we return, we will be taking a look at Kentucky Derby Day Stakes racing from Churchill Downs. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Tom Hammond, here to tell you about the leading provider of research dollars to promote the health and safety of horses. The Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation has donated more than $10 million to universities to develop solutions for a wide range of injuries and diseases in horses of all breeds. Anyone with a love of horses can become a member of Grayson Jockey Club, and your dues will provide additional progress. Contact the foundation and learn how you can become a member. It'll be a favor to your horses and mine.
Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to Churchill Downs Kentucky Derby Day 2001. We have a lot of stakes racing on Churchill Downs undercard of the Kentucky Derby, starting out with the Churchill Downs Handicap, a Grade 2 $100,000 event for, $150,000 event for 4-year-olds and up, going 7 furlongs. Let's head back down to Churchill now for the call of the Churchill Downs Handicap.
They're off and running in the Churchill Downs Handicap, and it's 41 carats straight out to take the lead, quickly joined by Exchange Rate with Trippy, flashing good speed up the inside. Bonapaz up to join the early fray with Significant. 4 across the track to slug it out early. 41 carats back to 5th by an X, snuck in next by a length and a half, then Al-Anon, about 5 lengths off the pace, a break of 3 farther back to Proven Cure. In behind that, Rollin' with Nolan in distress and being pulled up now. Rollin' with Nolan pulled up on the back backstretch, and Liberty Gold is the trailer. Opening quarter smoked in 21-3. Around the turn, Trippy neck in front. Bonaparte making him run in second now. Exchange Rate is right there, tracking third. Significance on the outside in fourth. Then Al-Anon up the inside rail. Needs some racing room. Too far to the back to Snuck In, who's followed by 41 Carats as they run to the top of the stretch. And Bonaparte poking ahead in front. Trippy digs in along the inside second. Al-Anon splitting horses and coming gamely with Exchange Rate. Whip comes out now on Significant, and 41 Carats starts to roll on the far side down to the final furlong. Bonaparte's got the lead, 3 parts of a length in front. Al-Anon splitting horses and coming gamely. Al-Anon between horses pokes a nose in front. Exchange Rate on the outside, and a stubborn Bonaparte battling gamely. Al-Anon's got his neck in front. Al-Anon wins the Churchill Downs handicap.
Al-Anon, who recently rounded into very sharp form, returning with another win, this time a half a length over Bonaparte, who was involved every step of the way despite a bobbling beginning. Exchange Rate back off of the turf and onto the main track, going back to sprinting on the main. Exchange Rate rallies into the third spot here. The winner, Al-Anon, is a 5-year-old bay, son of Conquistador Cielo, out of Dame Sybil by Elocutionist. Bred in Kentucky by A.B. Hancock III. He is owned by the Eaglestone Farm and trained by Carl Navsker. This is the horse that had been in the barn of the late John Tomorrow until just prior to his last start. Al-Anon, ridden to victory by Edgar Prado, sets a new track record for the 7 furlongs at Churchill Downs, 120-2. Stakes racing action all day at Churchill Downs, continuing with the three Chimneys Juvenile Stakes. $100,000 for 2-year-olds going 5 furlongs. Let's head down to Churchill for the call of the 3 Chimneys Juvenile.
Off and running in the 3 Chimneys Juvenile. It's a good start for Storm Witch out to take the lead. Quickly joined by Open Story up the inside. And there goes Fast Silver, and Fast Silver takes over. Sprints clear by Alec now. City Street moves up into the second spot. Behind that, Storm Witch racing in third. Open Story at the rail 4. Scalp Ticket racing 5th by 2. Runaway Choice has got 7 to make up at this point. Then a gap of a couple more farther back to Mr. Mythic at the back of the pack as they wind their way to the top of the lane. And it's Fast Silver in front by a head. City Street turning up the pressure to the outside. Too far back to Storm Witch racing in third. Open Story next along the inside. They straighten away in the stretch. City Street taking the lead now with a furlong left to go. Storm Witch is coming fast to challenge on the outside. City Street's got the lead by a length and a half to Storm Witch, trying to bridge the gap from the outside. City Street, Storm Witch runs out of ground. City Street to win the 3 Chimneys Juvenile. Open Story charged late. City Street. Open Story right there on the inside. Then Storm Witch was third in 57-1.
Dead heat there. City Street on the inside, City Street on the outside. Open Story rallying on the inside, and the 2 of them hitting the wire together. They were both very impressive. City Street did appear to have drawn clear. It looked as though he was going to be victorious, but Open Story, a filly, catching him down on the inside, setting up the dead heat, as you see there on the page. Very quick time. Finishing in the third spot was Storm Witch, who held on fairly well for the third spot there behind the 2 winners. Open Story is a 2-year-old daughter of young stallion Open Forum. He is owned by the McKee Stables and trained by Dale Roman. City Street is out of the Tom Durant ownership from Ronnie Werner's barn. Ronnie Werner does very well with the 2-year-olds down in Kentucky every year. Robbie Alvarado, Pat Day have to settle for dead heat victories here in the 3 Chimneys Juvenile Stakes. Final time, new track record, 57-1. Next on the card, we have the Citgo Distaff Turf Mile Grade 3 event for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, going the flat mile. The purse, $100,000. Let's head back to Churchill for the call of the Citgo Distaff Turf Mile.
All set for the start. Off and running in the Citgo Distaff Turf Mile. It's a picture-perfect break. Please sign in as expected. Straight out to take the lead from Always Sure Racing in second. And Gino Spirits up the hedges in third. Then If Tyrus moving up a closer fourth and tugging hard early, followed by Solving in between fillies. Then it's Impending Bear and Good Game at the back of the pack. Around the clubhouse turn they go. Leading the way, Please Sign In, and Jorge Chavez, 3 parts of a length in front. If Tyrrus right there on the outside, racing in second, then it's Always Sure in third. Gino Spirits rides the rail, racing in fourth place. Impending Bear with 5 to make up early, followed by Good Game and Solvig unhurried at the back of the pack. 8 lengths off the pace early, the opening quarter, in a moderate 24 seconds flat. Please Sign In leads it 3 parts of a length in front. If Tyrrus right there, flanking her and challenging second. Gino Spirits third. Always Sure in between fillies racing fourth, and Impending Bear as Solvig moves up to the far outside, and Good Game is at the back of the pack. Around the far turn they go. Please Sign In still there ahead in front. If Tyrrus second, there goes Solvig, and she's revving up fast into the third spot. Then it's Gino Spirits. Always Sure is bottled up between fillies. Impending Bear and Good Game at the back, just 6 off the pace and moving up the hedge in the stretch drive. Please Sign In is tackled from all sides now. Solvig moves up on the far outside. There goes If Tyrrus taking the lead. Solvig's run is flattened out just a bit, and between horses comes Gino Spirit. If Tyrrus and Jerry's Bailey. Gino Spirit's up the inside coming fast. If Tyrrus from Gino Spirits. If Tyrrus hangs in there to win the Citgo Distaff Turf Mile. Gino Spirits was second and Solvig finished third, and the time on the board 1:36.3.
If Tyrrus picking up a very impressive win. This was only her 3rd U.S. start. Last time out, she was victorious at at Gulfstream Park in an optional non-winners of 4 event. Very big performance for her that day, sending her off as the favorite, lukewarm favorite, just under 3-1 for Bill Mott and Jerry Bailey. She picks up a neck win over Gino Spirits, who is still looking to return to the best form that she showed, picking up stakes credentials in New York. Solvig, who she and Gaviola, both 3-year-old fillies last year, did a lot of running against one another. They were kept apart this weekend. Solvig has to settle for the 3rd spot here. The winner, If Tyrrus, is a 4-year-old bay daughter of distant relative from Ideal Home by Home Guard. Bred in Ireland by D.A. and Mrs. Hicks. She is owned by Gary Tanaka, trained by Bill Mott, ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. If Tyrrus completes the 1 mile on the firm turf at Churchill Downs in 1:36.3. Stakes racing continuing on with more and more good stakes racing with the Humana Distaff. This is one of the traditional undercard races. It's 3-year-old or 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares sprinting 7 furlongs for $150,000. Let's head back to Churchill Downs for the call of the Humana Distaff.
There, off the running. Another breaking right on top. La Femme now takes over from the outside. Dream Supreme up the inside, came away 3 lengths off the pacemaker third. The Happy Hopper racing fourth by 2, and Nanny Sweep at the back of the pack, 8 lengths off the pace. They really string out here up the backstretch. La Femme has gotten an easy lead. She's out there clear by 3 to another in second. Now Dream Supreme takes the 2nd spot on the inside. They tighten up a bit. Back to the Happy Hopper and Nanny Sweep at the back of the pack. The quarter 22-1. Moving for the turn. La Femme 3 parts of a length in front. Dream Supreme cruises up to tackle her from the outside. Another's racing third by 3. Behind that, the Happy Hopper and a break of 3 back to Nanny Sweep at the back of the pack around the turn. La Femme back in front by a length now. Dream Supreme made that run at her in second by 2 more. Behind that, another shaken up in third. The Happy Hopper starts to pick up the pacemakers now, and Nanny Sweep from the back of the pack, half and 44-1. They head for home. La Femme turns for home in front by 2. Dream Supreme is shaken up in second. The Happy Hopper plugs away up the inside. They're followed by another, and Nanny Sweep from the back of the pack. Here comes Dream Supreme, and Dream Supreme is pressing on by. The jock lost the stick on La Femme. La Femme's on the inside. Dream Supreme going on by to take the lead. Dream Supreme gets up to win the Humana Distaff. La Femme was second. Nanny Sweep third in 1:20.70.
Dream Supreme, last seen victorious in New York, being sent down to Kentucky and picking up another win for regular rider Pat Day, and of course Bill Mott, who had consecutive wins with nice fillies of different varieties. Dream Supreme gets a 1.25 win over the favored La Famine. Nanny Sweep, a long shot here off of a little bit of a disappointing effort last time out, has to settle for third. The winner, Dream Supreme, is a 4-year-old daughter of Seeking the Gold from Spinning Round by Dixieland Band. Bred in Kentucky by the Kinsman stable of Mr. George Steinbrenner, the owner of this horse. Trained by Bill Mott, ridden by Pat Day, Dreams Supreme. Sets a new stakes record. I think it would be fair to say that the Churchill Downs Strip was a fast one, and in fact, a very fast one on Saturday. Final time for the Humana Distaff, 1:20.3. Back onto the turf for the Woodford Reserve Turf Classic race just prior to the Kentucky Derby. It's a Grade 1 $300,000 event. 3-year-olds and up going 1 1/8 miles on the turf. Let's head back to Churchill for the call of the Woodford Reserve Turf Classic.
All set for the Woodford Reserve Turf Classic. They're off and running. David Copperfield breaking right on top. Alley's Alley right there to join him to set the early pace from the inside hedge now. Whiteheart came away third. Northcote Road is racing along in fourth. Brahms settles down 4 off the pace, racing fifth. Tygier eager to run on early on the far outside. Then the other great Thesaurus and a break of 4. Back to the favorite King Cougat. He's almost 10 lengths off the pace with a lap left to go. Alley's Alley 3/4 in front. David Copperfield flanks him and keeps some pressure on, racing in second. Northcote Road, he loops up 3 wide to join the top pair third. Whiteheart on the inside right there, a close-up fourth. Brahms is 4.5 off the pace, racing fifth. They're followed by Tygier with Thesaurus saving ground on the inside. And King Cougat gets up into the race now, 8 lengths off the pace as they straighten away up the backstretch. Alley's Alley and David Copperfield setting the fractions, the half, and 47 4/5 seconds, with Northcote Road right there, a close-up third. Whiteheart racing along in fourth. Brahms is fifth. Thesaurus up the hedge, racing sixth. King Cougat edging his way up patiently on the outside, and Tygier at the back of a bunching up field, now just 6 lengths off the pace as they round the turn. That half mile, 47 4/5 seconds still. Alley's Alley from David Copperfield. Whiteheart and Gary Stevens makes his move 3 wide. They're followed by Northcote Road. Brahms is on the far outside. King Cougat being scrubbed on at the back of the pack as Thesaurus cuts the corner in the stretch drive. Alley's Alley still there, 3/4 of a length in front of David Copperfield. Whiteheart a clear shot on the far outside. Thesaurus splitting horses up the inside, and King Cougat now unleashing a ferocious rally under Jerry Bailey. King Cougat is coming fast. Brahms is going with him. King Cougat on the outside. Whiteheart and Brahms. Whiteheart digs in gamely. King Cougat is surging. Whiteheart hangs on to win. King Cougat second, Brahms third in the Woodford Reserve.
Whiteheart, another one in from the West Coast. This one for Neil Drysdale, picking up a win by a neck at 6-1 under Gary Stevens. Favored King Cougat, the Bill Mott, looking for his 3rd consecutive stake on the card. Back on the turf here, has to settle for second with King Cougat, who was certainly one of the better 3-year-olds on the turf last year. Brahms, one of his main rivals last year on the turf, was finishing in the 3rd spot here. Those 4-year-olds both look like they have a lot of future in front of them. King Cougat, lightly raced horse who seems to have an awful lot of good racing in him. The winner, Whiteheart, is a 6-year-old bay gelding, a British-bred son of Green Desert out of Bahari by Blushing Groom, bred and owned by Gainsborough Limited, trained by Neil Drysdale, and ridden to victory by Gary Stevens. Whiteheart completes the 1 1/8 miles on the firm turf course in 1:48.3. Next, it's the big race of the weekend, certainly one of the biggest races in the world. Anywhere there is racing, people know the Kentucky Derby. Grade 1, $1 million classic for 3-year-olds going the classic distance of 1.25 miles. Let's head down to Churchill Downs now for the 127th running of the Run for the Roses.
All set. Off and running in Derby 127. Song as a Prayer broke straight as a string. Balto Star going with him. Millennium Wind is right there on the inside. They're quickly joined by Keats. He'll rush up to join the early fray on the outside. Congaree settling down in 5th. And the favorite, Point Given, is right there on the outside, racing 6th. Talk is Money, 5 lengths off the pace, racing 7th. Up the inside comes Express Tour. Then a break of 3 back to Invisible Ink, who's followed by StarTac with a good place up the inside. Thunder Blitz is 8 or 9 off the pace, right to his outside, AP Valentine. Then a break of 3 farther back to Monarchos, a good dozen off the pace early, followed by Arctic Boy, Dollar Bill. In behind that, at the back of the pack, 50 Stars. And Jamaican Run the trailer. Out of the backstretch they go, Song and a Prayer. The opening quarter in a quick 22 2, and the half mile 44 4/5 seconds up the backstretch. Song and a Prayer by a length and a half now. He leads it in front of Balto Star, second Keats. 3 wide is racing third, Millennium Wind in fourth. And behind that, Congaree is tugging hard, racing in 5th place. Then Express Tour 5 off the pace. Point Given with 6 to make up at this point. Followed by Thunder Blitz, and behind that, Invisible Link. And 2 back to Monarchos and StarTac. Around the far turn they go, and it's still Song and a Prayer in front by a length and a quarter. There goes Congaree, and Point Given follows him into stride on the far outside. Balto Star comes under pressure now. Express Tours on the outside. To the top of the stretch, it's Congaree past the quarter pole in front by 1. Point Given attacking in second. Monarchos unleashing a rally on the far outside. Then Express Tour down to the final furlong they go. Congaree's got the lead. Victor Espinosa riding for his life. Monarchos trying to run him down to the outside. Final furlong, Congaree. Monarchos pushing on by to take the lead. Monarchos and Jorge Chavez going clear, and Monarchos wins the Kentucky Derby. He won it going away. Then Congaree in second, Invisible Link ran third, and finishing fourth was Thunder Blitz. The time was 1:59.4.
And it's Monarchos. Certainly by now you have probably seen the race, but if you haven't, just do enjoy it. It was a terrific stretch run by Monarchos, who had put away rivals in the early going. Jorge Chavez didn't get the easiest start on him. He did have Point Given bear in just a little bit at the start, but took him inside of horses, made a nice move up the backstretch with this colt, got him underway, perhaps a little bit early, but the pace was blistering up front. It was the fastest opening quarter mile in Derby history, set by Song and a Prayer. Those horses just had to come back, and Monarchos gets a perfectly timed ride by Jorge Chavez, who made an inside move, came outside on the turn, and before you knew it, top of the stretch, there he was pressing Congaree, who was certainly running on very easily. Point Given was the favorite in the field. It did appear that Point Given just didn't have it on Saturday. Point Given did give Gary Stevens some trouble. Did not appear to be taking a hold. He has been a big colt that usually seems to really grab a hold of the bridle. You could see that moment when he takes a hold of Gary Stevens and said, let's go. He just did not have it on Saturday, setting up for a beautiful effort by Monarchos, sweeping past the field. Congaree very game in defeat, running on very nicely, just getting nipped by Invisible Ink at 55-1, finishing in the second spot. Invisible Ink, a horse that certainly I liked quite a bit going into the Bluegrass, came out of that a disappointing effort, but I didn't think it was a bad race that day. I did have some doubts as to whether or not he would end up finishing on the board in the Derby. But I thought it was a terrific effort by him. Congaree also very game, holding on very well to run in the third spot under Victor Espinosa, making his debut in the Kentucky Derby. It certainly did appear that Congaree had a lot left at the top of the drive. Unfortunately, he came up a bit short as Monarchos swept by, but a very impressive effort by all 3 of the top 3 finishers here. As I said, a little bit disappointing, obviously, was Point Given. A nice effort to finish in the 4th spot from Thunder Blitz, who Joe Orsino has indicated he is going to skip the Preakness and then head to the Belmont Stakes. Monarchos it has been announced by John Ward that they are planning, obviously, on heading next to Pimlico for the Preakness. Invisible Ink will be rejoining Todd Pletcher's barn in New York before a decision is made, although they are questionable on whether or not this horse will head on to Pimlico from there. Congaree, according to assistant trainer for Bob Baffert, as well as Point Given, are both going to be heading to Pimlico. It will obviously be the final decision of the owners and Bob Baffert to decide whether or not they're going to go, but as of now it does appear that those 2 will also be heading to Pimlico for the Preakness in 2 weeks. The winner, Monarchos, is a 3-year-old grayson of Maria's Mon, a 2-year-old champion who, despite his being a bit precocious, was actually bred to go long and to run on well as an older horse, suffered an injury which cost him his career. The Dam Regal Band is daughter of Dixieland Band. This is an old family of the Darby Dan farm. Had produced a number of top horses a couple of generations back. Had sort of tailed off of late, but certainly with a Kentucky Derby winner coming from this family, it does appear to be resurgent. Monarchos was bred in Kentucky by J.D. Squires. He is owned by John Oxley. trained by John Ward, ridden to victory by his regular rider, Georgie Chavez, who picked up the mount last fall and has stuck with this gray colt, certainly to his great credit. A good training job as well by John Ward, who said said before the Wood Memorial that he was not going to have this horse fully cranked up and ready that day. He obviously did not. He had this horse ready when it counted right here the first Saturday in May at Churchill Downs, the Run for the Roses. Monarchos picking up a 4 3/4 length win under Georgie Chavez. The final time for the Kentucky Derby, 1:59.4, the second fastest Derby win on record. Of course, Secretariat's 1973 victory, the fastest on record. Sham, who finished second that day, actually clicked the clock under 2 minutes that day, but it doesn't count. It's not official unless you win the race. So Monarchos, the second fastest Kentucky Derby in history. That's our look back at racing action from last week, and it was a very, very busy week. A little quieter next week, but we do hope you'll be able to join us again next week. We will have, of course, the Pimlico special for older horses in that week between the Derby and the Preakness. The Pimlico special has really filled that gap very nicely with some terrific racing. Captain Steve is expected to go as of now. As I mentioned, we finished up with Aqueduct, and we will be heading to Belmont Park on Wednesday, their opening day stakes feature, the Nassau County Handicap. We certainly hope you'll be able to watch that race, as the Wind Machine Extra Heat will be taking on a group of rivals that day next weekend at the Belmont Park, rather. Pair of stakes races for fillies, the Genuine Risk and the Bowery for New York bred. So we do hope you'll be able to join us for those and other races next week on Horses and Courses. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm Jean Wood. I'll see you back here next time.